Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dumpin' Dish, episode 5 here with Coach Zane. How are we doing today, Coach Zane?
Pretty good. How are you? How are you doing?
Not too bad. Had a nice weekend. It was finally sunny this weekend, which was nice to get out, get a little vitamin D, barbecued a little bit, made some ribs. Delicious.
Ooh, good choice.
Delicious.
Good choice. I went with some steaks.
Yeah. I used your thermometer this weekend that you got me for a present. Worked pretty well. Need a little user error, but I think I'll be ready to go next time with it.
Love it.
Nice. So what was your weekend like? What'd you guys do?
I had my mom over for Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
On Sunday. So
my mom left me. She went to Florida.
She ran away with her friends, left all of her kids back in St. Louis.
Everybody else.
We had my mom over and cooked up some steaks on the grill and swam in the pool and watched my daughters playing around the backyard, having a good time.
Nice. I hear you got a new bike rider in the family.
I did, yeah, my little one. So my older one figured out how to ride a bike 2 or 3 weeks ago. Bike week was coming up, so that was the big one. She's like, I am not going to be the only third grader who does not know how to ride. So she was definitely pushed into wanting to ride a bike.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure is an amazing thing. Thank you to the school for having bike week, because before that she was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Not ready.
Yeah, like, hey, you glide on an 1/8 inch of steel and look like you're not even trying when you skate, and then you don't want to ride on 2 tires.
Right.
So anyway, that pushed her into it. So she got it, and then little sister was like, "Oh no, if she can do it, I can do it." So this weekend, we were just biking up to their school, and she was like, "Mom, Dad, take my training wheels off now." And so we pulled them off, and it was like 3 times, and she got it to the point where we were all clapping for her. And I look over at my older one, and she's just like, and I was like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" She's like, "She did it in like 5 minutes." And I was like, yeah, that's little brothers and sisters. And it's kind of like what we talk about in the training facility when a parent walks in and is like, this is my 5th child. And then looks at the oldest one who's like, have they eaten today? And then they're like, Jesus. And they're like, yeah. And then it's like, have they bathed? Looks at the oldest one and they're like, a couple days ago. They went swimming yesterday, so that counts, right? So I'm like, there's a hockey player right there if I ever saw one. Just a little tiny bit feral. But that's the little one in my family too is, if older sister can do it, little sister's going to try it at least and figure it out. Yeah.
Nice. Well, this week back at St. Louis hockey training, we got Coach Joe back from maternity leave, had a nice little baby boy.
Yeah.
And it's good to have him back.
Yeah, it's great to have him back in the morning ice sessions. Shout out to Casey Ott, who came out and helped us out for
big help.
For a couple weeks while he was out, keeping that running smoothly. Awesome coach. Loved his help out there, but having Joe back and the connection with the kids and everything else, it was awesome to have him back on the ice. So super excited for that.
Coach Ott coaches the older kids, and he got a little taste of the 6U, 8U. He thinks all the AAA coaches should come out and have a little test of patience. He said it's a good test of patience with the 6 and 8U. I had a good chuckle at that.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Couple new things going on. I don't know. Some people might have saw him on Sunday night camps. We got a video. I wouldn't say a videographer, a photographer coming out to camps. Going to take some still shots. He'll do some videoing and stuff. But it was pretty neat seeing the pictures he got back. They really captured some good. He's a heck of a photographer for high school. I was very impressed with his photos.
He did awesome, and big shout out, and hopefully we continue to get awesome photos from him. And he did great.
Staying out of the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was running the camp, and never once did I have to be like, now move, or
you're in my way,
or you're in danger, like during the shooting drill. So awesome having a hockey player who's awesome, also a photographer, because he also understands where to stand, where to get the shots. He was up in the crow's nest, he was in the stands, he was on the benches. He got some cool shots with like water bottles and kids in the background.
Yeah.
Coaches interacting with coaches interacting with players, all of it. He really captured the feeling and what St. Louis hockey training is all about when it comes to learning and creating a learning environment for the players, coaches, and us, all in one piece.
I think it's going to be neat for summer camps that they'll kind of get. Well, I think we're going to do like a collage of some sort of every week's camp or something with all those photos from the week. I think it'll be cool. All the parents get to see what their kids are doing and seeing the good photos he gets. It's pretty neat to see. I think the parents are really going to like seeing their professional photos during camp.
Yeah, and grabbing some before and afters too.
Yeah, that's a video side.
Yeah,
of it.
The video side of it of getting videos of the players,
Monday?
On Monday, and then come Friday, and what a difference that we see in all those players.
Yeah, so we need to share that.
I'm really excited to put those together and put those out for parents to enjoy.
Yep. Now, speaking of socials and things like that, we got a few new few new series going. We talked about it a little bit before, but we're kind of finding our stride now. Coach Zane specializing in the how-to. He's doing the how to build a stride. It's pretty neat to see. How the legs feeling, Coach?
Man, they're burning. It was just on the treadmill just a little while ago, and yeah, that skating treadmill is a butt kicker.
Yeah,
And so
17 degrees and some miles an hour. It gets hard, doesn't it?
yeah, and staying on the toes and
Yep.
pushing, and when you show somebody how to do something, you truly have to exaggerate whatever that motion is. And even when I first started doing lessons 20 something years ago now, which is crazy. Old man, yeah. I found that my stride got better in the first 2 years that I was teaching than I ever was as a player. Because when I say bend your knees and I show it to you, I have to bend my knees even more. And when I say crunch that ice with that big toe, I have to crunch even more so that the player hears it. That reinforces the correct motion, the correct stride, everything about it.
Yep.
And I found that my personal game, to the point where I was like, maybe I could do this again.
No,
and I was like, no, stop. I'm an engineer. Stop it. At that point, But there was a moment in time when I was like, maybe I could get back into this, competitive game.
Give it a try.
Yeah. So, no, legs are burning after the treadmill, but good, good workout and good content that's going out to coaches, players. We give drills for the parents to use at home with players, or players to use at home.
Yeah.
If they're self-motivating, for coaches to use on the ice of ways, we're pretty much teaching people how we teach here at St. Louis Hockey Training.
100%.
And sharing our knowledge, and we think that's very important to continue to grow the hockey community here in St. Louis and anywhere else online that wants to watch it.
Well, we get so many parents that are coaches, and they're like, man, I only played like 3 years of hockey, or I didn't even play, but somebody needed to coach this team. So we feel like this might help them out, dial in their practices a little more and actually work on some of the skills that they want to.
I raised my hand at the wrong time, and now I'm a hockey coach.
Yeah,
I've heard
100%.
that so many times, from parents. And so really appreciate them coaching the kids and being there every time and donating their time. That's not a paying job to be a youth hockey coach.
It only takes beatings.
But yeah. And so for them to be able to do that, and then if we can empower them to do it maybe a little bit better, or give them just ideas, even the highest level coaches, we learn from coaches all the time. We're constantly scouring, the socials and things of, is there a better way to teach something? Is there a better terminology for this? We use it that would connect with a 6-year-old better. Than what
or a 16-year-old better.
That we're currently using. So we're always in pursuit of knowledge and always trying to learn about the game and better ourselves, and then the players that learn from us.
Sometimes we miss it. It's pretty funny when me and Coach Zane will work something out, and then it's like, nope, this wasn't right. This doesn't work.
Well, yeah, and even we have differing opinions on how to teach certain things. And, and we'll go back and forth. We'll go over to the facility, strap the skates on, and be like, all right, show me how you would teach this. And then I'll be like, well, this is how I would teach it. We go back and forth and find what's the best way, again, to connect to the player to teach them. At the end of the day, concepts are pretty much the same, but the delivery method might be a little bit different, and what's the correct age appropriateness of that way. So
yeah.
How about yours?
I'm doing homework. I've kind of tailored mine to more fall in line with our lessons. So you can take what we teach at lessons and bring it home and work, in the garage or in the basement with it. Before I wasn't quite sure where I was going to go with it, but I think it's in addition to the lessons that you take a little reinforcement when you go home. If you're going to practice, it's only 5 to 7 minutes. I try 5, but I'm not very good at 5. It usually ends up 6 or 7, but it should be like a daily or an every other day practice at home. It's quick, it's easy, and it gets you all the fundamentals. And that's really what I'm striving for, to bring home that practice from the facility, reiterate that at home.
Yeah. I see a lot of kids that come to practices once a week or a lesson once a week. And then they're like, well, why aren't I progressing like in my shooting compared to somebody else? And it's that away from here, even if it's 5-10 minutes a day, we've talked about it plenty of times, just go shoot pucks. Yeah. And take what you've learned here. It's just like working out for the parents. Like, you go work out once with a personal trainer, and they may not be with you every time, but you need to continue to go. Like, you're once a month with the personal trainer.
Or once a week, still going to make it happen.
Not enough.
Nope.
And so taking what you learn, and it's the same application that you have with that personal trainer when it comes to hockey. Like, you got to get out in the driveway and shoot pucks, or you got to go find stick and puck time if you want to do it on ice. There's ways to do it, but there has to be some of that time put in. And again, it only takes 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you'll see your shot go up significantly. And we struggle that in the girls' game that I coach a lot of, where some of the girls are like, man, my shots doesn't get better. I'm like, well, how many shots have you taken at home? The boys go home and they choose to do that a lot of times.
Yeah, hit the basement.
They go home and they or just something outside, and they just, or something athletic. I know with my girls where I have to be like, hey, do you guys want to go shoot pucks now? Like, and they'll be like, yeah, but it's not the first thing that pops into their mind. They're happy to do it. And I always tell them, you can say no.
Yeah.
But they it's not always the first thing that pops in their mind.
You got your shots in for the day. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Nice.
Last one is this dump edition. Today we're finally we're live on TikTok today while we're filming it. So
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Shout out to the people watching on TikTok. I think
listen. How many we got?
We got 3, 4 right now. Four? Awesome.
Hey,
shout
all
out to
4
everyone.
Yeah. Good to see you today.
Yeah, first one that we've ever done. We went live today also during detention with Coach Switz while we were filming his shooting practice.
Yep.
You'll get to see him sail one over the net into the woods.
I mean, I don't know why you had to bring that up. You could have brought like the 35 top shelf ones that you could have brought up. I was smoking the bar.
I'm just talking about the one outside.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. The one I just sail over the net like a Frisbee. No big deal.
Those pucks are lighter.
Yeah. That was it.
All right. Moving into really the topic for today. Had a coach approach me at the rink this past weekend and said, loved what you guys talked about with Top Dog, last pick. Love the insight that you give into these types of topics. And she said, would you ever think about doing one on parent etiquette and tryouts coming up? What's expected of the parents, even players too? Like just what's right, what's wrong? How should the parents be acting around tryouts and interaction with coaches versus not interacting with coaches? All of that thing. I'm gonna stop here. Switz, what's your take on that?
From the parent side, less is best. If you pass a coach, say hi. But we had a kid on our 06 team that we had a big joke that like nobody knew dad's name at the end of the season. That was a good thing. He was there all the time and he was there to watch his kid, but he was quiet. He stayed in the background. He wasn't making a scene. He wasn't screaming and yelling, banging on the glass, things like that. And I think that carries over to tryouts. You want to think of it more like it's a professional setting. You're trying out for something like a job interview for your kid. You don't want somebody in the background yelling at you while you're in your job interview. So that's the biggest thing is to me, like be seen but not heard. You know what I mean? And just be more professional about where you're at. You're not out there playing. It's a tryout. Don't be so hard on your kid. If something else is going on, just kind of relax about it. It's already stressful enough for all the players. They don't need to worry what's dad doing up there pacing or slamming his hands down when he misses a shot. The kids see it all, and it just adds more and more pressure, I think. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I see a lot of the hand signals in the stands.
Oh,
the old.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot. 2 hands on the stick. Let them play hockey.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, quit getting so involved in their process. It's their process. Win or lose, it's okay.
It's not going to help them.
Yeah, you're not helping them. And in fact, when you do that and he looks up like this from the bench, the coach, I see when a player looks up. I can tell you how many times on that 06 team we had a player that would look up in the stands and we were finally like, your dad's not the coach. If I watch you look up there in the stands for reinforcement, and then they look for that for the whole rest of their career.
We see it in camp then.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach, and they're looking at dad behind, to the side of me while I'm trying to give an explanation.
They have no clue if they had a good or a bad shift until they look at you.
Yep.
And there's no self-recognition, and that applies to everything in life. There's a child psychologist out there that talks about when a kid asks you, like, do you like my painting? His response back is, what do you think about it?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And now
smart.
the kid, and I do that with my kids now, is like, it doesn't really matter what I think. It matters what you think about what you've done. Do you think that's a good
how'd
painting?
I do today?
Yeah. And you giving them their feedback on everything that they do in life is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because at some point you're not going to be there to do that, and then you don't want them to be lost. So, like, make sure that they're realizing they're going to have good shifts, they're going to have bad shifts. You're going to have good days at work, you're going to have bad days at work. It's more than just hockey. But in the tryout process, stay back. Also, give the evaluators room. I can't tell you how many parents I've seen that there's obviously 4 evaluators sitting there, and then you come up and sit down next to me. And the first thing I have to do is close my notebook. Now I'm not evaluating kids because you came and decided that you were going to sit next to me and try to talk to me about your kid in the tryouts.
Yeah.
No. Leave me alone.
A little space. Let me breathe.
Yeah, and
when is the right time to talk about my kid at a tryout, or what do you think? How do I get that feedback that clearly they're looking for?
After the fact.
Okay, how do I do it?
Age appropriateness. Kid can walk in and ask, especially when it comes to the last cuts of like a AAA or Elite Central States.
Yeah.
A lot of them do interviews with the kid at the end. Like, walk in there and it's kind of like a face-off. If I win, this is what I'm going to do. If I lose, this is what I'm going to do. and know that walking into the room. If I win, I'm on the team. Cool. Am I signing the contract? What's my next steps there?
Yep.
If I don't get picked, what are my questions? Don't get caught off guard. Walk in there, and it could go either way. But
I see that less and less where they come in and let you know they didn't take it.
Okay.
I will say that. I don't see it now. It's all announced online, and you got to wait. And, the ones who make it, they get their contracts that day. But I haven't seen too many coming in after anymore to kind of.
Then I think it's a reach out via email. Let that evaluator, pull their thoughts together, go back and look at their notes and give you an answer. Some of them won't give you a real answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer to that. Oh, you can get the canned. Oh, you worked really hard. You just weren't quite there this year. Good luck next year.
Yep.
Hopefully you get actually good feedback where it's like, now I noticed on this forecheck, you would go hard for the first 3 strides and then stop forechecking or whatever that is.
Or you couldn't turn left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You work on those crossovers going to the left.
Or you're a defender and you're constantly outside the dots in the defensive zone. Like you weren't shutting down the house, especially on odd man rushes. You would get outside the dots and then get beat to the inside. Like hopefully there's some real feedback there. But also at the end of the day, I've evaluated enough where there's 60 kids on the ice in 60 minutes. Each kid gets a minute of your time.
Yep.
Hopefully the locks that are on the team don't get as many looks as the kids who that bubble is where you really got to spend your time of who's the last 3 in, last 3 out. Your top kids, they're there.
Yep.
Quit worrying about them and quit watching them do extra stuff. Like focus on those kids for evaluators. Make sure you're focusing on those bubble kids.
Give it a day or two too. Let it breathe. You have to calm down too. We know it's emotional when your kid gets cut, but I don't recommend writing an email right after you find out he got cut. It's going to be a little sharpened tone from my experience, and I don't think you even want that, but it's hard to, you're hurt, you didn't make it, but let that breathe a little bit, then reach out for some feedback after everybody's calmed down a little bit, and I think you'll get a better response too.
48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like take the next day, relax, and then on the day after that.
Thank them for the tryout,
Yes.
Appreciate their time, having them out there, things like that. That's how I'd start that email.
Yeah, no, you're seeking knowledge there.
Yeah.
Like, you becoming aggressive in that email is not going to help yourself.
You're not changing the pick. The pick's not changing.
I'm yet to ever see a pick change. However, like you can ask for feedback, and I think that's a good thing to do in the right way.
Because you're interested still.
And at certain levels, when a kid either gets pulled up to, let's say, juniors or gets hurt, somebody blows out a knee and is out for the rest of the season, those are the people that would get the phone call from me that were interested if they were close. But they showed an interest in their development. They showed an interest. They were polite and cordial about it and understanding that they just didn't make it. It's okay. But what can I do in this next season to better my chances to make it next year?
Yeah, I find the parents can only hurt. They can't help a lot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's very few parents that can help, but they can always hurt your chances. That's a big thing in my world, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Coach. I don't have anything else. What about yourself?
No, I think I'm good, guys. Thanks for watching. Everybody on TikTok that was live with us today.
Hey, all 5 of you, 4 of you. I mean, we got Alyssa. Come on now.
Two now.
They
two
left.
now.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That hurts.
So
that cuts me deep.
We'll shoot this on most Friday. It's going out on Friday.
Going out on Friday.
Tuesdays,
Yep.
around 11. Next week we got we're gonna be out of town though.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna shoot one from Southern California. Coach Alex and I are getting out of here to go.
We're taking our break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break for a week and go play some golf in Southern California. So we'll shoot it from Southern California.
Yeah, live from there. It should be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's Dump and Dish, episode 5. Thanks for listening. We're out. See ya.